What's good? What's good? What's good? Sippers and sniffers, welcome back. Welcome back to another show. Man, glad everybody who's in the building. Glad y'all can make it. Know you could be anywhere but here, but you chose to be here with us, and for that we are extremely grateful. Well, at least I am. I don't know about my other two, but I'm sure they're happy to see y'all in the chat. But though, what's going on, everybody, man? Hey, go ahead, fill up the chat. Let us know what you're sipping on. If you're sipping on something, let us know what you're smelling like if you're spraying on something. All right. As for me, today was a simple day. Decided to go ahead and take it back to a Middle Eastern. A rendition of Creed Aventus Absolute was the first one that we had come across. We kind of joint bought it together, me and Jason, and we are talking about. Well, I don't have my box on me right now, but we are talking about Armand Presu. I think it's Armand Presu, Precious One, or whatnot. Y'all know what it is. Anyway, Club de Nuit Presu. All right, part one. Smelling good. The pineapple, the fruity greatness. Got a little lemon in there. I think there's some fruit. I'm not sure if it's a little bit of apple, but man, almost like a spicy tropical vibe right now, and it is great, man. I won't lie to you. Definitely makes me happy. Brought a smile to my face when I sprayed it on. It's great, baby. It's great, man. As far as what am I sipping? Oh man, just left the hospital. I had to grab something on the way in, so I stopped by, of course, one of our favorite corner stores. Your boy used to be a corner boy at one point in another life. All right. And I had to pick up that 7-Eleven kiwi strawberry. Oh, let's see. Oh, wait. They got to pay me to display me. So we'll just leave it at there. That 7-Eleven kiwi strawberry is always a number one hitter whenever I go to the corner store. Between that and the strawberry lemonade, oh, man, love it. Love it. But with that being said, we got a great show going on today. A little Sunday sampling. Y'all already know how we get down. And we are here to introduce a new house to y'all, for those who don't know. Now, I got plenty of people in the chat right now, enough, and several of you do know of Dragon Perfumes, and some don't. For those who don't, you are going to get a great introduction into the house. We're going to go ahead and get our noses on some of these. Shout out to Kicks and Aroma. I believe they went to the Pineapples or the Pineapples Award, and they went by his booth and they were amazed at all that he had to offer from his house. So let's check it out. All right. But first, before I bring him up, our guy, let's see who's first in here. Oh, man, making his way back through town. AGB, what's good, fam? He says, salute, Sips and Sniffs, fam. Scent of the day is Dumont Nitro Intense. What's going on, baby? All right, of course, second, if not first. All right, we got Joel in the building. Joel said, Opnon Supremacy in Heaven. Just bought it today. No MA. Nike. All right, interesting. All right. Showing a little love between each other. All World said, what's good? He said he got all of his bottles in front of him, ready to go through the sniffing with us. All right. My guy, Will the Thrill, what's good, baby? He said, what's good, Sips and Sniffs family? Hope all are well. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hope you are well as well. All right. He said his scent of the day was swamp water. I'm guessing it's dried down and become a skin scent, but hey, nothing like a reapplication, right? Already. JoJo, don't play with my JoJo. Yep. Don't try to. Anyway, what's up, Jonelle? What's good, baby? All right. We got Make It Make Sense. Man, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. Every time I see this guy's thing, I think of that song. How's it go? Make it make sense. Carefree is cool, but not at my expense. Shout out to you, man, for that music jogging name on here. But anyway, scent of the day is 1 million Privé. What's going on? Smelling like, what is that? Apple pie goodness. All right. Let me go ahead and scroll down here. First of all, let me go ahead and take a look over here in Instagram. What's up, Rim Whisperer? All right, Taste and Sense with D-Buggy. What's good, baby? All right, hop on YouTube, man. I see you, Bashan. What's good over there? All right, stepping back over here, Kevin B. What's good, man? He said, nice setup. Appreciate it, man. Got a little bit as we continue to talk about some other stuff, some houses. Got some setup behind me, and hopefully, hey, I will be adding several of Dragon's perfumes over here to the display as well, man. Shout out to my little bro, Damius Minimus. He said, my family, what's going on? They started with Myth Mystery for him. Compliments went crazy. All right. That means he had to. Okay. And then ending the night with the Scandalo by day 3, loving the day with my family. Man, hope everyone is doing well. Indeed, baby. What's going on? Let me go ahead and scroll down here, man. I see a lot of people talking to each other. You know what I'm saying? AGB. Shout out to him. He over there, you already know. Still sipping on that sugary goodness, you know. Diabetes in a bottle. You already know. All right. You already know. Shout out to Kicks. What up, Raph? What's going on? All right. We got Mr. Clark in here. Center of the day is Kingsgate Melodia. Oh, okay. The Melodia. Dolce Melodia. I guess rendition. That's what's up. Smelling good, baby. All right. My God, my brother from another. Only blood could make us closer. My God, Dre, what's good, man? What's going on? Already. Let me get in here. Alicia, my girl, shout out to you. She says she'll rewatch the replay. Appreciate it, man. All right, y'all. Well, I see you, Terrence Taylor, man. Center of the day is Desert Rain. What's going on? Let me go ahead and bring my guest up, man. With no further ado, we got Daryl Hunter, aka Dragon Perfumes, the CEO, the creator, and the perfumer. And I'm telling you right now, I've only gotten my nose on a couple of these, but if the other ones are anything like that, honestly, we might have a house that's in the making of where we put day 3, to be honest with you. These are good. So far, so good. So let me go ahead and bring this brother up with no further ado. Daryl, what's good?
What's happening? Good to be here, man. It is so
Already.
Good. I almost tried to run over to my bar real quick. I didn't know I wasn't ready with my sip. I didn't want to not be here when you turn the camera on, though. But I might have to disappear and go reload.
All right, go ahead and do that because I'm gonna ask you what is your sip of the day and your sip of the day. So you might as well go ahead and re-up. But before you go grab that glass, let us know what you're wearing.
You know, this won't be the best answer. I'm always wearing something I'm working on. So this is a scent. I call it a Sunday Accord.
Okay.
Based on certain ingredients, frankincense, myrrh. You know, you had to have that extra soul vibe. So I did an accord that's I've been letting age up. That I'm going to use it in some other scents. That's called my Sunday Accord. So when I'm having conversations, when I got to come straight from my heart, that's what I want to smell like, that those 2 ingredients especially. So that's my answer.
All right. You know, it's interesting that you say that those are the notes because recently I've been seeing a lot of the new fragrances that have been coming in, preparing for the fall.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them have been being introduced, have frankincense and myrrh. It's like the new spice that they're pushing forward now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I think, you know how in color world, there's always a color of the year. I think frankincense with myrrh closely behind it is going to be the scent or the ingredient of the year. Now, let me say this. I'm going to say this as we talk. Notice I say ingredients more than I say notes, because when I'm describing what's in my perfume, I intentionally list what I put in it.
Okay.
So I actually shy away from describing what I think it smells like because I want you to figure it out. As weird as that sounds, I know.
Don't test me. Don't test me, Daryl. All right.
I want you to figure it out. So I'll tell you it's frankincense. I'll tell you what I put in it. And I won't tell you the exact ratios and all that necessarily, but I'll tell you everything in my bottle, because I want you to figure out what those things smell like. And I want you to get in the habit of identifying perfume based on what's in the bottle instead of what 15 ingredients are made up to smell like that thing. So I'm gonna punch other perfumers in the chest right out of the gate with that.
All right. I hope y'all heard that. You heard that challenge. All right. That's a bet. All right. Well, that's a bet. So you're wearing Sunday's blend. All right.
Yep.
And what do you sip? What are you about to refill up with?
It's a Glenfiddich 12 Scotch. So that's my drink, Scotch, single malt Scotch.
Okay. Got and pause ahead of time, but sounds like you got a fireproof throat right now because I tell you what, every time I drink Scotch, it takes me a couple of sips before I can tolerate that burn going down. Honestly, man.
You know
Scotch,
what? I'm gonna tell you one of the tricks. Find Scotch that's been aged in sherry casks. That'll make it a little bit smoother. Yeah, get away from bourbon
ooh,
cask and look for sherry aged casks. That'll get you a little bit.
ooh. Now, can I ask this? With that sherry aged cask, is there a hint of cherry in the flavor, or does it actually lean in in a
Yeah,
different
you might be
direction?
able to pick up cherry. Yeah, you might be able to. I can't always, so I won't lie and say every time I see it written on the bottle, I can, or the box, I can, or the
Okay.
label rather. But yeah, sometimes I can. Abelor, Abelor, is a sherry cask finished Scotch. You can taste the hints of cherry in that.
You're gonna have to send me that. All right, I'm
I
gonna
will.
need you to DM me that. As a matter of fact, we'll exchange information. I'm gonna get you to DM me that because I think I might. I told everybody I'm gonna start sipping again this upcoming week. I think that's what I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can find it at my local liquor store. You know what I'm saying? I might have to turn into a quarter boy for a day or two and find me a bottle, man, for real.
There's other trick. Let your ice melt for a few minutes before you take a sip. Let it smooth a little bit like that.
Yeah, I usually just pour when I'm in need of one real
There you
quick. So
go.
I might have to plan ahead next time. So we'll see.
There it
All
is.
right.
There it is.
All right. But man, look, appreciate you for taking some time out there. I've been trying to find time to reach out to you, especially after I got the great feedback of your product from Kicks in Aroma when they saw you at Pineapples Award. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then when you and my guy Luke Solomon, the Elemental, gave me the in a sense, you know how Luke gave me the blessing and said, "Hey, have you talked to Daryl from Dragon Perfumes?" And I was like, "No, you know what? I meant to get him last year when I first saw you on the was that the Black Owned Business Week or whatnot."
Black on Fragrance Week, Glenn.
Yeah, and I think I reached out and we never followed through because of things that were going on at that time.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm glad to have you here now. It is a blessing. And hey, it is truly a gift to get our nose on some of these. Now, for those who do not know you, tell the people a little bit about you.
Yeah, so Dragon Perfumes, and I'm going to come back and talk about, I'll deep dive a little bit into just even why I chose the name. But Dragon Perfumes, I'll describe it as the intersection of spirit, art, biology, chemistry, and technique or science. So what I'm doing with Dragon Perfumes, and I'll talk about the name, like I said, in a couple of seconds, is I am using, and I started out 100% natural, and then I'll get into what I mean by when I say it might not be 100% natural. I started 100% natural focused because I wanted to get back to the types of perfumes I remember smelling as a child. My dad was in the military, so we traveled a lot. And I remember being in Germany when I was a kid, and my mom had a vanity full of these perfumes with vintage sprayers. And over years, I noticed perfume didn't smell like that anymore. So my goal was to recreate what I remember enjoying as a really highly complex, non-linear perfume. And so somewhere, I don't know, this will be the two-part story. So I remember being about 12 years old and not feeling the best I could be possibly feeling as a kid, but I had a bottle of Halston 112. I don't know where it came from, my mom maybe. I sprayed that Halston on that morning, went to walk to school in Vicksburg, Mississippi. Man, I had teachers pulling me out of class to smell me, and it lit up my day and lit up their day. So it's stuck in my mind that perfume changes how we feel.
Indeed.
So that stayed in the back of my mind forever, that man, it could really affect how and make people feel a certain way. So, you know, I had my scientific engineering side. I had my very much a spiritual focus. I'm a Mason. I'm a 32nd degree Mason, and I love studying ancient religions. So I realized I can affect the world through perfume if I can do it the right way. So that's really what Dragon Perfumes is. I said my objective in a sentence, not in business, so you should have a one sentence objective. I want to affect 1% of the world, and I think that's about what 80 million people somehow. So whether
That'll
you
do.
buy my perfume or not, I hope my words will still affect you.
Definitely.
A little bit more. So Dragon, oddest name ever for perfume, because when you think of Dragon, you're not thinking of a pleasant scent or whatever, right? So here's why I chose the name Dragon. I kind of gave you a hint to everything I do is probably got 3 different meanings to it. In the story of let's say a knight going out to slay a dragon, there's always 3 things in the story. There's the knight, there's the dragon, and then there's the gold.
Mm-hmm.
You've never heard one thing about why the dragon is guarding gold. Like the dragon doesn't eat the gold. The dragon doesn't rely on the riches to stay alive. You've never heard why in all the stories. Here's the meaning of that story: is symbolism. You are the knight, you're the dragon, and you're the gold. The dragon is anything in you that's stopping you from a greater life that you want. So what the story is trying to symbolize is saying everybody in the world has something in you, no matter what your position, no matter whether you own a perfume house or you do whatever, bake cookies for a living or whatever, it doesn't matter. Your goal is to become better in some way, and you have to get above a dragon that's holding you. Whether it's doubt, self-doubt, whether it's physical ailment, whether it's something you'd love to do, but you don't think you're capable of doing it. All those things are dragons that if you can get above them, there's something in terms of a greater life that you want that dragon has been blocking. So my goal is through perfume, through my words, through the art that I put on the label, through the intent, the reason I create the scent, through the ingredients I choose, because I'm choosing ingredients that affect you at a cellular level, not just smell good. So out of those 4 different facets of my perfume, I'm going to get you to feel better one way or another. So that's what Dragon Perfumes is all about.
Okay. That's a good code. I like that.
Thank
I
you.
like that motto. I like the reason behind it and everything. It's clever. And
Yeah.
I like how you got 2 stories out of there. That's what's up.
Yeah.
I like that.
I'm going to get you a couple. And I'll tell you this too about my naming convention. So notice how simple my names are: Tree, Dragon,
Yes.
Here. I did that for this reason. I said if a bottle of Dragon Perfumes get lost in some other country for the next, I don't know, 100 years and somebody discovers it, I want you to be able to identify the name of the scent based on the symbol. So I always choose names and symbols that if you can't read what the word says, you'll know the name based on the symbol. So that's why I'm being as simple as I am. I'm getting around international language constraints.
Yeah, hey, I'm cool with that because if I ever decide to do a list, all right, Lord knows, a list longer than 5, a list longer than 3, really. You know what I'm saying? It'd be easy to just put tree,
There you go.
dragon, water on there. Because I tell you what, sometimes I get tired of having to say Atelier de Water, Rouge Soleil, and let me count the ways, the names. Look, I had our guy, shout out to Raph, who had to tell me that I've been mispronouncing the Zerjoff this whole time because I kept saying Zerjoff.
Yep. And I don't even try,
you know,
so you're better than me.
So he told me it was Zerjoff, and we've been up since then. But I tell you what, I got to search off Starlight, search off Mocha something. I'll take I.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go. And if I ever come out with something that you can't pronounce, man, you need to hit me up and check me and tell me, ask me what I got going on over here because I'm messing up.
Hey, that's all right. I will let you know because I'm gonna send you the video and you're gonna hear me mispronounce the word. It seems to be something that's running rapid in Fragcom right now. You got so many people that get behind the screen, get behind the camera, and are so sure about messing up people's names and brand names and whatnot. I'm telling you, it's crazy. It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
We got a whole family of butchers in the community right now.
We
Yeah.
can't even tell you what perfume we're wearing because we can't pronounce it. We're like, look, just look at the picture.
You know what I'm saying? And some of us be wanting brand deals and brand sponsorships. It's like, how you expect that? You can't even pronounce some people's name.
That's funny. That's it.
But
So yeah,
yeah,
that's how I'm getting around that. I'm gonna make sure you can always pronounce it, whatever language you speak. Just look at the label and say what that means.
all right. Well, if nobody else tells you this, I appreciate it. Okay, I definitely
You're welcome.
appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Trust me, because I am not trying to turn this little part-time hobby into a full-time business of having to phonetically learn how to say things. All right. So yeah, we're good. All right. But with that being said, let me ask you this. So yeah, I gotta ask, where this all starts? All the motto and everything is great, but how did this begin? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So about I'd say about 14, 15 years ago, this will be kind of funny. So before I started shaving my head, I had my George Jefferson look going on. So one day I said, man, I just got to go ahead and let it go. My barber was staring at me like, come on, man, I love you, but how much longer we gonna keep doing this? So I decided to shave my head, and I shaved it, and I didn't like the scent of the shaving cream. Now, again, keep in mind, I already had in my mind, I love scent. I love how it makes you feel. I knew the effect of a good perfume. So I said, man, I want to scent this shaving gel. Ordered a couple of perfume grade ingredients. I think bergamot, sandalwood, and geranium were the first three things I ever ordered. Man, I blended those, put those together. As soon as the first drops went in that beaker or the little flask I was using, it's like I had a flashback that shook me. It's like I remember doing this before. So from that point on, I just said, man, I got to make perfume. Whether I sell it or not, I've got to make perfume. And I hadn't stopped since that day, every day. I never did finish a shaving gel. So there you go. But yeah, that's what got me in it. My receding hair, my retreating hairline, and my love of perfume's effect on us emotionally are my two reasons I make perfume.
Okay. That's what's up.
So from there, once I decided, I went to I spent about 12 years, I'd say, kind of roaming the countryside, out to Cali a lot to go to perfume shows. Met Glenn out there actually a bunch of years ago, Mr. Cologne, learning what good perfume should smell like, what mainstream perfume smells like, what people liked or didn't like, what packaging should look like. I was in Spain studying with, so my first, I'd say, official training was with the Natural Perfumers Guild under a lady by the name of Elise Pearlstein. And so that was all about me only focusing on truly natural ingredients, nothing that was even close to could be called a synthetic, whether it was naturally derived or not. I wanted to learn naturals to that level because I realized they're harder to work with. A lot of perfume houses have avoided and stopped using naturals because even, for example, bergamot itself has a top, heart, and base note. So you add a lot of unpredictability the more you're adding ingredients that change in terms of their evolution. So I said, man, if I figure that out, when I go to and start using any kind of synthetic, that's super easy. So I did a mentorship in the Natural Perfumers Guild for a year, and then I went to Spain to study with the Perfumery Art School of the UK under a fifth generation perfumer by the name of Isabel Gillet, Gelle. So in that course in Spain, we studied Arabian perfumery, of course, all natural based accords, all those types of things. So that really gave me, and then I went to Milan, Italy, to look at packaging and what they consider to be the height of setting up a display table and packaging perfume. So after that, I'll say about 10 years of meeting people and talking and smelling and trying to figure out what right looks like, I said, all right, I think I got it. So I officially launched Dragon about 2 years ago. So studying for 10, 12 years and then really, truly trying to be a business for this last 2 years.
All right. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. And you made some waves to say that this started just a couple of years ago. I think 2 years ago was literally when I first saw you on the Black Owned Business or Black Owned Fragrance
Yeah,
Week.
that
You know what
was
I'm
my
saying?
coming out. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. So you gave your speech and everything. I remember you sitting in front of the little chemistry sets and whatnot. I remember, man. I remember.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I forgot who interviewed you. I don't know if it was May or Kels, but it was someone I follow.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, man, I have to go back to that video. It was a great discussion between y'all.
Yeah, we
But
did have a good time with that for sure. So
but you
that's how I got started. So I'll say, some of the things that I did along the way, and this is to kind of a message to anybody that's considering it. I decided, how you'll start something, you'll say, well, for now I'll make it this way, and then later on I'll make it better. I'm discovering, and maybe, especially about perfume, or because it's a product or because it's art, whatever, you don't really get a lot of chance to get better. It's like you've got to have a feeling out of the gate of how it's formal and how ready it is. So
okay.
I put a lot of effort into my packaging, choosing the texture of the box, the shape and the dimensions. The man, I'll tell you this, how much I think about everything. My box is actually patterned after King Solomon's temple in terms of the height and the width ratio. So that's a level of diabolicalness I'm putting into everything I'm thinking about, because I said, man, I want people to really, from a tactile perspective, visual, everything they see, to realize there's more to it. But then at the same time, I got to be friendly to the environment. So I'm not trying to create a whole bunch of packaging that you're going to throw away. Um, I even say with the box, I hope you use the box. So the
Mm,
symbolism on the box, I hope every morning when I send you the larger size, when you're trying to work on something, when you need some wisdom or some more love or some more strength to solve something, turn that box the way that you want to turn it. Focus on that symbol and spray the scent. Think about it like that, because I think that's what perfume really, really should do, is make you feel a certain way. I had said, I was making notes before we got on this call. I said, to me, what perfume really is, it is something that makes you feel and not just scent. That's just air freshener. If you're just scenting
yeah.
a room, that's air freshener. But we should get to a point where I don't just ask you what you're wearing. I should say, man, how does that make you feel? Like, no, we don't talk like that about perfume, and we should, because then it'll challenge myself and other perfumers to start creating things that make you feel intentionally a certain way.
Definitely, definitely, man. And you will get into it later, you know what I'm saying? But definitely the feels are very important,
Yep.
And
Yep.
it goes hand in hand with what we're going to be doing towards the end. But one of our main staples on Sips and Snips is scents and sounds.
Yes, sir.
Music has you feeling away, and so do perfumes, you know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And that's why but just touching on this real quick, all right. That is why I stand on the fact that there is no gender in perfumes
Mm-mm.
unless it applies to yourself. If you believe it's masculine, I'm not here to argue. You know what I'm saying? But that's masculine for you.
Mm-hmm.
Body is different. You
Have you
know.
ever heard the
Yeah.
story of where that came from? Sorry, a minute, cut you off. I couldn't tell.
No, no, no. Go ahead.
I've read that they said in the '60s, and I can't remember I don't know if it was L'Oreal or some perfume house, a marketing department said, "Hey, we're not selling really any of our perfume to men. Our numbers are really low." And they said they were working on a scent. And again, I need to Google it more and make sure I'm speaking the truth. But I believe they said the scent originally was called something else, but it became Brute,
Uh,
because they said, let's decide that a perfume, we're going to call it for men and give it the manliest name we can come up with. And that's how we started separating men and women's fragrances.
Makes sense to me because everything back in the day used to smell like aftershave.
Yep. Yep.
Aftershave and alcohol, rubbing
Yeah.
alcohol.
So there was really no delineation between men or women's fragrance until around the 60s. Because, I mean, think about it. We don't like go and smell things, go, oh, I'm a man, I shouldn't smell that flower, or shouldn't smell that type of vanilla, whatever. We don't do that we don't do it with food. We don't do it with dessert. We don't do it with
Right.
anything. But we visually, we don't say any other art, oh, that's just for men to look at, not for women or whatever. So yeah, it's dumb for us to decide that perfume is gender based. we're blocking ourselves from experience a lot of good perfume. When I was in Spain studying, one of the students was from the Gulf region of the Middle East, and she said, Daryl, we'll have 4 perfumes in the car, plus another 3 at work, plus 2 or 3 in my gym bag. She said, we're spraying all day, every day. And she said Shalimar, which is, I think, traditionally women's marketed scent. They said
Boy,
she said that's one of her male friends, their favorite scent is Shalimar, and they wear it like crazy.
I know several guys that wear Shalimar.
Yep.
Seriously.
Yep.
Still to this day. I don't know if they still wear it, but I know if they had it, they would.
Yes, sir. Yes,
It's a
sir. So yeah,
classic scent for men.
we got to break out of that male female thing. That's messing us up. We're getting blocked, especially as men. We're getting blocked from smelling a lot. I think women are starting to wear more men's scent, but we're not. And it may be because of bottle design or colors or whatever is blocking us a little bit psychologically. But women are starting to wear more men's scent, so I'm glad of that.
Yeah. But we're going to get into that one day, and I'm probably going to have we're going to be on here again, and we'll
Yes,
have
sir.
that discussion too. But no, I've already got a live planned to discuss that because I think it's an issue when you can be a grown ass man and allow somebody to tell you whether or not you smell like a man or a woman.
Right.
I mean, it's
Exactly.
you can have your opinions, but if you take that to heart and it influences you one way or the other.
Yeah.
In a sense, you might not be so masculine or you might not be so mature. I'm gonna be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? Because look, I ain't about to. You may not like it. You may not think it's very, and I understand it may not work for you. But to try and tell me what's masculine and what's feminine and whatnot, based on my preference,
That's
I
weird.
just,
So I have a question for you. If
yeah.
you had a choice for a whole year, you can wear a perfume that you love but everybody else hates, or a perfume that you hate but everybody else loves, and you can only wear that one perfume for a whole year, which one are you going to wear?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm always wear the one that I love because here's the
Yep.
thing.
Yep.
One thing that I've noticed is that people don't talk about this, but to other people, a lot of times what you smell is dictated by how you look, how you address people,
Yep.
your confidence and whatnot. I know plenty of people that smelled something that smelled oud for the first time. They were like, oh, I can't stand that. But after a while, you put it on the right person,
Mm-hmm.
people learn to tolerate it, don't they? As a matter of fact, people learn to appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
So, we'll talk about it, but question of the day is, and y'all know this came from me. This came from me. So if somebody else steals it, I'm going to be discussing. Somebody else steals it, you already know. Are you wearing the perfume or is the perfume wearing you? That's what you got to wake up to every time. That's what you got to think about every time you spray it on. Are you wearing the perfume or is it wearing you? Because if it dictates who you are, there's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
But if you wear it and you dictate how people take on that smell, whether you're dressed horribly or whether you're dressed up, if you dictate how people see that perfume, then you're applying it correctly in a sense.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. I agree.
Yeah.
And I'll hit you. I'll get this provocative with you. I don't care if anyone ever compliments my scent. But now here I'm gonna tell you that I'm super provocative because I know I smell good. It actually surprises me sometimes. Somebody say, "Oh, you smell good." I'll go, "Oh, yeah, that's right. Other people smell me. I forgot about that." So it'll catch me off guard. I'm like, I know. That's why I put it on. I know I smell good. So it to me, it's like wearing a designer label showing. I'm like, yeah, I appreciate it, but even if you didn't say anything, I tell you this, a lot of people smell you and love how you smell, but they just don't want to say or don't feel comfortable saying you smell good.
Thank you.
You
If they're
can't
not comfortable, they
let
may never say anything to you.
nope. You can't let external validation be your weather vane for whether you're wearing the right scent or not. Because a lot of people, as a society, we're just not that complimentary like we should be. We should say, like, if I smell somebody and they smell good, I'm gonna say it. Anything about them. They have new shoelaces. Oh man, shoelaces are sharp. So we don't do that enough. So it's tough for us to say I'm gonna wear it and look for compliments and let that decide what I'm gonna wear. we ain't built like that as a society, at
Exactly.
least not right now. So, and then if you'll think you'll load up on enough and put enough on to get that compliment, now you're blasting everybody's nose at work or in the car or whatever. So,
Definitely. Well, let me ask you this real quick before we go ahead and start sampling some of these fragrances, Daryl.
mhm.
My guy Donald English wants to know if you have a discovery set. I believe you do. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I call it a discovery set more. It's a sample box where I'll put together, and I always say 5 is on the website, but I always said more than 5. I'll put together 5, 6, 7, probably 8 of everything. So yeah, dude, it's just $20 and actually what I just put together just to match you for this. And so
Yep.
I'll throw 1.5 mil samples in a box of what I think are my latest. And I should say this too. The last thing I'll say, and then definitely we'll start smelling. One of the reasons I say vintage in terms of describing my scents is this, and this will another provocative angle for a perfumer I know. I change my scents intentionally.
Mm.
As a smaller perfumer, I like other perfumers will say, I can't get access to large amounts of certain ingredients, especially if they're captured by perfume houses, which that doesn't bother me a whole lot because usually that means it's some new molecule that I'm like, I'll discover it later, no big deal. But I've discovered even in using, for example, say a certain Rose Absolute that comes from, let's say, Eden Botanicals, that she got it from Bulgaria in 2023. The 2026 version of that same rose from that same country, from her same supplier, may not be the same. Most likely it
Mm.
won't be. So it's going to throw off my formula ever so slightly, and it'll be different. So I can't really claim 100% I'm always making the exact same formula. So what I decided to do was say, you got to think about Dragon Perfumes the way you think about wine. You might not like a 2022 whatever, but you love the 2024 version. So you may smell my Butterfly 2025 and go, man, I think I like this 2024 version way better. And if you're smelling something today, 3-4 months from now, I'm going to tweak that formula ever so slightly. So don't expect it to be the exact same. Now, the trade-off is this. You'll say, Daryl, what's up, man? I like a certain thing and I want to buy more of it.
Uh-huh.
My challenge, I know Mundell is all world is right there listening to me with his ears
Yep.
leaning toward the screen.
Uh-huh.
Man, you know what? Life has changed. We're supposed to change. You're supposed
Indeed.
to constantly explore, evolve, discover new things.
Yes.
So if I've got to intentionally take a perfume away from your cold hands and it's one of mine that you love, and I got to go, man, try the newer version because now I've got a different oak moss than I had last year. I don't have any more last year's small batch. It just goes that way. So I mean, I'm like that too. I tell you what, I have made blends that I'm like, oh my God, that made me tear up. It was so good.
Oh.
I've got about that much of it and no more of it. Because if I try to recreate the formula, there's a couple of things I don't have that if I get them again, they won't be the same because they're a different crop. It is probably it's truly a masterpiece. For me, it's masterpiece, and I can't make more of it. I just stare at it and smell a little bit of it and then put it away. So that's just, man, that's how it goes. That's the world of discovering new and amazing perfume. You know how many perfumes are released a month worldwide?
I heard on Justin Copeland's, but trust me, it went in one side of the brain and out the other.
250 a month internationally.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
250 perfume launches a month. That's a lot of perfume for anybody to say, I just wear these 5 or these 10 or these 15. So we just got to constantly try
That's
it because, man, it's
a
a lot of good perfume out there. All right, let me stop talking now. Let's smell.
lot. No, hey, we appreciate the information, man. I'm over here. Hey, Kroom, if you're still in here, man, hey, I sent you the link per usual on the stuff. Since he did, you sent him actual the discovery pack as well.
Yes, sir.
I'm inviting him to come up here and share it if he has a moment. So I just, I couldn't guarantee that he was going to be available. So my thing was, hey, I needed to have this conversation with you because, the budget is getting tight going into the new year. So if there was something I wanted to get around now, especially with next month being my birthday month,
Ah, okay.
this will be
I'm
the
picking out
time.
what you're laying down. I'm picking it up. I'm picking it up.
This will be the time to go ahead and add a few to the collection list. So, yes, all right, we are about to get started. All right. So, with that being said, man, let's go ahead and dig into some of these jewels that you're creating. Now, I will tell you one thing. There was one that I requested, and I meant to tell you, I got two waters.
You
But
got two waters?
I got two waters, and I unfortunately, I think it was June. Was it June? Yeah, the one for June that Kix was telling me about.
I probably owed you the private stock instead of the two waters. I remember putting that in the box and looking at the labels and saying, man, I hope I didn't just double up on something.
Look, Kix sold me on that, so I need that.
Okay, all right, I
need
still have it now. Even though I just said I do retire all my formulas, if I have 2 or 3 50 ml bottles left, I crack them open and still sell them that way in smaller amounts. So I decant my own scents too. So
all right. Well, hey,
I'll send you some June private stock then for sure.
All right. But I tell you what, for now, you know what? I'm gonna do a chat favorite. All right, our guy All World wanted to make sure that I got my nose on Crown and Dragon. Now, I do not have Dragon. Okay, I do not have Dragon. However, I do have Crown. Okay, so let's go ahead and check this out.
Yeah. And I'll tell you this, Crown it's the first scent that I did. It's a Chypre style scent. So it basically means I'm using an accord that's a traditional cologne style accord. So bergamot, oak moss, jasmine, musk is the basic 4-part structure that I use. And then a little bit of herbal always defines Chypre. And I think a little bit of rosemary is in there. So even though I'm saying those are the 4 primary ingredients, this formula was probably about 40 line items. A lot of labdanum is that's a trait of a Chypre too. So I used a honey labdanum that I got from Hermitage in the UK. It gives you a very much, and there's a lot of myrrh. Sorry, I was trying to remember. There's one more thing I overloaded in here. So the darker color, and several of my scents for this season, I say are darker because I went in on myrrh. That's one of my most favorite ingredients in terms of how it affects other ingredients.
Okay.
So you're picking up right now. You're into right in that little bit of a citrus, jasmine kind of feel. I did a jasmine attar. Which I don't know if I'll continue because the jasmine attar vendor, I think they've tweaked something. But so an attar is of course an ingredient that cooks in sandalwood, for long way to say it. So I'm using that to reinforce the jasmine in Crown. Let me describe that. So aside from just those, and again, I'm saying ingredients and not notes. The artwork for Crown. I have a person that hand draws all of the artwork, and I said, Crown is the first scent that I created for Dragon Perfumes, and I intended it to be that for a reason. I wanted to establish who you are out the gate. Like whoever you are, this Crown is yours, and this is what you should be feeling, expecting. Just the world should be yours from this standpoint of, man, you are whatever color you are and wherever you are from, you are royalty. And if I can get you to understand and even have a hint of believing that, everything else I'll let you smell will smell better because you'll see it from that higher standpoint. So that's the background behind Crown. The cellular effect, oak moss, jasmine, very grounding. Bergamot, uplifting. So I'm focusing on mentally how I want you to feel with some of the citrus lightness of it, but then I'll at the same time, something about, to me, oak moss and jasmine and musk, those 3 things together give me a very peaceful and kind of grounded kind of feel. So Crown is about expanding mentally and spiritually, right in the center of your head, no pun intended with the crown being on your head, but also at the same time, I want you to feel solid, not immobile, but just sturdy.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this, Daryl. You did a great job on this. Now, this is my first spray, all right, and I'm wearing it on skin right now. I definitely get that bergamot. Definitely get the citrus in the opening. I also get the oak moss because I get almost like an aquatic green nature. All
Yeah,
right,
that's oak moss. Yeah, I love it.
and
It
that's
is.
the thing. And what it does is it shifts. It kind of distorts in a good way that citrus, the bergamot, in a sense. And then,
Yep.
of course, you got the sandalwood, which I'm sure comes out in the dry down. But
Yep.
right now, it's making it a little creamy, which
Yep.
I like. I like sheepers that use sandalwood because a lot of times in the ones that I've smelt, that it typically softens it, but makes it creamy, gives it a little density as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is really good. Now, I am getting the jasmine sambuca in there. All right, so I'm getting the jasmine, the florals. But
They're
overall,
hiding.
this is really nice. This is as you put on there. It's a sheeper for a quiet confidence, right?
Yep.
And I see a quietly confident man wearing this. All right,
Mm-hmm.
walking around doesn't really say too much. Just you know, people know when they see him. I'm not going to use this. No offense to people that use it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to use that term. He's him. That's a bullshit. All right. I don't
Yeah.
want to do that. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't say enough. This is a guy that doesn't have to walk up and greet everybody. When he enters the room, more people will come to him than he will have to go out and say hello to. This
Mm-hmm.
right here, when on close encounter, like this is one that once he gets a woman close, if he's the way he's supposed to be and equipped with the right amount of conversation and topics, because you can't just be talking about anything, you know what I'm saying? Not at our age, that
Mm-hmm.
stuff might have worked in our 18 through 25s, but once you get up there in the mid 30s and up, conversation rules the nation. And if you're not on topic, you might as well keep it moving. But this is really nice. This fits a gentleman that is well put together, and I mean the confidence is in all aspects. All right, and
I
all
love what you just said. I also think perfumes should be inviting and magnetic. My son plays guitar, and we were talking about music theory, and he was reading something and said that music is, in terms of production, is loudest that it's ever been, ever, in terms of the decibel level.
okay.
And I said, Mason, you know what? I think perfume is the same way. It's the loudest it's ever been,
Yes.
and we're missing the fact. It's almost like if no matter how good you smell, if I can smell you across the room, there's nothing that makes me want to get closer to you. And
Thank
that's not how
you.
perfume is supposed to work.
Thank you.
It should be just a little bit of hints or whatever. I mean, my clothes, my appearance should get you within 6, 7 feet, and then you catch a whiff in that 2 or 3 feet, then something makes you go, I want to get closer and talk to this person. I mean, whether it's romantic or not, it could be just it business, but just something about a good scent will pull another soul in. That too strong scent just keeps them at oh,
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you.
that
Oh,
illusion.
yeah. I
Sorry.
mean, you're still here, but there we go. All right.
Yeah. So I thought that, man, this last 20 years, we're making perfume that's so loud, you don't need to get closer to the person to enjoy it. Like, that's not how it's supposed to work. It's supposed to almost, it's not a set of traps to bring somebody in, but in a way it's kind of it's a sequential thing. Like, you saw the person, you may have heard their voice, you saw their smile, you saw their eyes, saw how they were dressed, and you caught a whiff of something. It was like, oh wow, what was that? And so that's how it's supposed to work. We're blasting each other out with stuff these days, it seems.
Yes, sir. Now, real quick, Daryl, let me go ahead and ask you this question because
Mm-hmm.
this dude in the chat, I mean, Mr. Minimus, all right, Damien's Minimus had a question a while back. I started so that I could come back to it, but he's very impatient. All right.
That's all right.
So, with that being said, give me 1 second. Let me go in here. But he had a question.
Mm-hmm.
All right, up here. Let me go ahead and go to it. Jeez. All right. They wanted to ask you this. All right. Where we at? All right. There it is. He said the newer fragrances, what's coming? All right. He
Yep.
wanted to know what's coming out. All right. Um, let me read the last bit. Do you do hybrids of your fragrances with customer requests?
Yep. So a couple of things. So what's coming out, my latest that I just launched is La Flame in Blue. I describe it as an aquatic jasmine wrapped in musk. If I had a third hand, it'd pop out of my back and pat me right now because I'm so proud of myself for coming up with a single sentence, because this is a really, really complex formula that I boiled it down to really just an aquatic jasmine with musk, even though it's several types of jasmine, several types of musk, a couple of aquatic types of ingredients. So that's my latest that I just launched. I did it for the Miss Universe, Miss St. Lucia pageant. I was just there last week and presented it to them. So that's my latest. That's now on the site as of a couple of days ago. The second part, I'll modify formulas. Like if someone said, I'd love to have my own custom scent. I don't want it custom, like starting from true scratch, but I love your butterfly. If it just had a little bit more of this in it, I'd love that, or a little bit less of something. We could talk about me creating kind of a one-off, not truly from scratch version, but something that's still custom to you. All World has a dragon that's why I'm like, if I sent you dragon, it wasn't going to be what he's smelling, because I did a slightly custom version of dragon, or he's definitely carrying, I think, the 2024 version that he
Okay.
liked a lot because it had a lot more of those resins in it. So that's
Ah,
an example. I did one for him that is kind of a one-off that way. That was pretty easy to do because he knew exactly what he loved. So it was he was able to communicate it pretty quickly, and I did that for him. So yeah, definitely. Anybody that's interested in
yeah.
that, shoot me a note, or DRH, as in Dr. H, but I'm not a doctor. DRH at Dragon Perfumes. Shoot me a note. Now we'll talk about it.
Okay. Well, y'all heard him. Hey, that's what's up. So
Yep.
Daryl always also does customs. Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
I definitely like that, man. Look, and our guy Aroma Dolce, Esteban in the chat asked, is beast mode overrated? It really just depends on personal preference. I wouldn't say it's overrated, but to some it is. Truth of the matter is, in a setting that we described earlier, I'm kind of the mindset where it's like, if my girl, which a lot of women, they love perfume, they spray on layers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're already bringing something nuclear to the table. Why would you want to bring something nuclear? Why are you trying to go to war with your date over
Well
fragrances? You know what I'm
said.
saying? That's my thing. You know what I'm saying? Why are you going to war with your date? Let her win that battle. Okay. You can beat her in battle. You can go to Dave and Buster's and beat her at every game on there, but don't battle her in perfume, because I don't care how many times they overspray and they ensure that you should enjoy that smell. It's rarely tolerated on the reverse end. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If you come out smelling strong on something, even if it's something that they usually like, trust me, a lot of times, more than not, all right, they're not gonna like it.
Mm-hmm. And
Especially
to
if it's
have a bunch of
theirs.
nuclear perfume, it's okay if one or two people, not even it's okay then, but you can get away with, say, a house party, people standing in the kitchen, one or two people with strong perfume, but imagine 5 or 6. Man, somebody's getting sick and having to leave or whatever. You got that much strong scent on in that small a room.
Yeah. Already. Well, that's what's up. Well, there you go. I mean, and everybody has their preference. Like I see some people talking in there, they want it to be beast mode based on the price. And I get that. I get your money's worth. You know what I'm saying? Like EQ says, you have to figure out what is value to you. You know what I'm saying? Price is what you pay, value is what you get. Well, you got to figure out what you're getting. All right. You determine your own value for your purchase. That's what it comes down to.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to EQ. All right. But all right. So that's first one, Crown. Oh, that is a nice sheeper. Now I'm excited to see how it dries down. But right now, those main notes that you talked about, those are what I'm getting here. Now, let me ask you something, just in case we don't stay online long enough. Is this pretty linear? or does it dry down? Just tell me that.
I am, I'll tell you this, I have contempt for linear perfume, I've discovered, and I'll go ahead and admit it. The water scents that came out in the late 90s and early 2000s, that first few minutes, I'm like, "Ooh, this smells good." And then I was waiting for something to happen, and it just smelled like more of the same, but just not quite as strong. And then it was still that 2 hours later, but just not quite. I'm like, man, what happened? I'm not a fan of linear perfumes. I think that it's just something that I don't even know why they even show a scent pyramid for a linear perfume, because it's the same note, just a lot, not as a lot, and then a little bit more. That's the scent pyramid of a linear perfume, because it's not really going through transitions the way true vintage pre-85 perfumes used to go through. So I want my scents to change, and that's a challenge for me. I'm like, man, if I do a top notes, I actually used to, and people might notice this in my previous couple of years, I don't have a lot of top notes in some of my scents. Like, I'm intentionally making you wait to discover more of the perfume, and not giving you top notes to let you go, oh, this feels amazing. Like, nope, you got to wait. You can't even get to the heart notes for another 15, 20 minutes. We'll make the mistake, and it's the weirdest thing to me. Sometimes we'll see people, trying perfumes, or when you go to a department store, I'll tell you two things. In the first 15, 20 minutes, you're just smelling top notes. So if you're deciding on if you like a perfume, you're deciding on it like hearing the first few bars of a song, and you're deciding on the whole song. It just,
Right.
you can't do that like that. And then,
I'm guilty of that. I'm
yeah, the
guilty of that.
concept of
Yeah.
coffee beans, that's misleading. That's another like marketing thing. The perfumers don't want you to leave the counter, because what do we say when we spray something? We'll go, oh, let me walk around. They'll say, no, don't leave. Just smell this. It's to keep you from leaving the counter.
I never got it anyway, because then it's just another fragrance. It's
Exactly. I
almost
have
like you
coffee
smell another
absolute. I have
fragrance.
cocoa bean absolute that I use as
I
an
always,
ingredient.
yeah, I
Yeah,
always thought
yeah,
you did better just smelling the inside of your shirt, or smelling something that where it's not sprayed, anything sprayed.
yeah.
I
Going
thought that
outside is the
always
best
cleared my
thing, though.
nose.
To be able to walk outside in the midst of smelling, that's what you really want to do if you're trying it at a mall or department store.
Okay.
Yeah, so that man, that's my thought. And also I think too, because I created or developed my sense while I was in the corporate world. So I had to figure out how to test my own perfume, but be in an office environment. So I intentionally dialed down my volume, I think, unintentionally maybe, because I wanted it to be work friendly. And not, we got it. We're in environments now where they're like, you can't wear scent at all to work. I was like, no, yes, I can, but I just got to figure out how to, wear something that won't blast people out.
Got you. Well, hey, no, definitely, I agree with you on that one. You definitely don't. It's overrated. It's
Yeah.
definitely overrated. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, definitely, y'all just smell something that's not fragrant. You know what I'm saying? And it should
Yeah.
restart. It should act as a catalyst to you to get going and sample something else. But all right, y'all. Here we go. Second one. Here. We're here now. All right. We're at here.
And I have a good story to tell you about here. So here is a patchouli. The first ingredient that I put in the bottle for here was, and has a lot. It's a drier feel to it now. It's basically a simple patchouli scent. This is
Hmm.
using, and how I came up with the name. So a good friend of mine, Dr. Courtney Hammonds, we talk all the time, and I was telling him about a perfume peer who mentioned he had a patchouli that was about 15, 18 years old. And to find a patchouli that's that aged is not normal at all. And he was decanting and selling parts of it. So the story of this patchouli was, a perfumer had it in a larger container. It somehow got pushed behind a dresser or dropped or something. It stayed there for years. The perfumer passed, and they were selling the estate or whatever, and they found this bottle of patchouli that was, they had estimated 15, 18 years old. I was telling my friend Courtney, I was like, man, that patchouli sat there supposedly lost, and it was just getting better and better and better. And he was like, man, that'd be a great perfume. And as soon as he said that, I was like, here. It was where it was supposed to be all along, getting better. And so since like I said, all of my perfumes have kind of a spiritual intent. My intent for here is to remind you, even if you don't think you're moving forward, you're still getting better. You're right where you're supposed to be always. Even if there's no motion, you're still getting better, just like that patchouli. So that's the intent behind the scent here.
Okay, okay. Well, I'm gonna tell you this. All right. First off, in that here, boy, I get the florals. Florals come shooting out. Seriously.
See, I can't really smell the florals now. That's why reason why I don't try to describe them too much. My sprays are weird. And I'm just picking up a lot of patchouli.
I'm definitely
Not
getting
a
the
lot,
patchouli.
but
I'm definitely getting the patchouli because it's almost like a dirty earthiness.
yeah.
But it's not too dirty. It's actually well blended. I think the florals are softening a lot of it. So it smells almost like fresh potting soil in a sense.
Yeah, I see that.
With the flowers, with the florals. All right.
Yeah.
But the thing that's getting me the most is probably the blend of the natural musk and the ambergris, because I want to say that this ambergris is providing like a sweetness, but also a mild citrusy nature to this. Like almost like if it's not citrus, it's bringing out. I say this a lot, but you know, when you deal with florals and you deal with earthy notes and whatnot, you get base notes. Base meaning something that's kind of clear, something not so much, and then I get acidic nature to some of the blends, which could produce a somewhat citrusy vibe. You know what I mean? And with that ambergris and musk, it is giving a slightly, somewhat sweet citrus, very slight citrus nature to it.
You're smelling a chemical reaction. I'm forming not esters, but I guess ethers, ethers. They're a sweeter smelling chemical reaction. So I'm using something in here in all of my scents, a lot of them methanoanthranilate. I do shifts bases, which basically I'm taking one ingredient like a citral and combine it with another, and through heat, I'm creating a new molecule that, as that molecule unwraps, it creates like an orange blossom or other types of scents. So I use shifts bases a lot in my diabolical scientific mind. I've created a few of them that I like to have as the backdrop. So you're getting the citrus from that chemical process happening in the bottle.
Well, this is nice. This is definitely nice. I like this, you know. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not a big tuberose fan. Neither do I really have I used to have a strong avoidance. I used to have a heavy avoidance for ylang ylang. Right. I just couldn't stand it in some of the fragrances that I initially smelled because it's too yellow. It's too bittersweet, almost like a weird tartness to it, you know, when it's in there. And I never really could feel for those because it was like yellow pink florals. And it was just a weird feeling when I used to smell fragrances with the ylang ylang in them. They used to always stand out. But this right here doesn't really make the ylang ylang stand out. Doesn't really make the jasmine stand out either. But I do like that you've used it in both of these. However, I am getting a little bit of that violet because it's either the violet or the musk. But there's a powdery softness to this.
Methyl ion gamma. Almost anything that begins with the word methyl, you'll just think kind of a raspberry, grapey, sweet, possibly kind of note to it. It's a molecule that makes tons of flowers. Anything purples, it gets its smell from that molecule, MIG for short. So that's what you're picking up too. Is kind of one of my. So like if I was a chef and I had a certain ingredient like chicken stock, that methyl ion gamma is my chicken stock. So I always put a little bit in a lot of dishes, not necessarily to stand out, but to support the other, you know, kind of bringing it all together. So that's where that powdery kind of comes from a little bit.
Okay, I like that, and I like the fact that you put it in chemical terms because you know it's a known fact that the list of notes, whether you get it from Fragrantica or whether you get it from I forget the other place that we go that does notes,
Perfuminista or something like that.
or Perforoma,
Yeah, that's it.
Perfuma or something like that. No matter what you get, and then even the people that put the notes on the box, on the back or whatnot, they never really tell you what all's in there. But when you do get those chemical compounds, and when you get the chemicals that are added in there, you get a better way of interpreting, like you're saying, what notes are really being formed in the accords and being used in the fragrance, man.
Yep.
Because especially when you give such a description like you did, it definitely makes sense. But yeah, that right there, that is definitely a good one. Honestly, these are, and when I say this, they're not every day in a sense that they're just easy wears. These are easy wears in that they are well put together.
And I love that you're smelling on skin. I don't know if you saw a post I did. Glenn, Mr. Cologne, smelled a version of I on paper, and when I saw him testing it, I said, "This won't go well." I've never really smelled even my own scents that I said, "Oh, this is amazing." I'll go, "Okay, that kind of smells good." I'll use blotters or test strips for raw ingredients, like, oh, see what that's like, an hour or 2 hours, but never for a finished perfume. Never.
Yeah, I'm one. I believe in. Look, whether you believe it or not, skin chemistry is real. Okay,
Yep.
and your basic physical makeup, your chemical makeup in your body, based on what you eat and how you live and whatnot, it definitely matters as well. I am a living testimony to myself and to some others that know, and it just hits different when it's on skin. So no, I spray all over my body. I'd ink up my body with the fragrance before I would just take many of these on paper, because the other thing that I hate too is using paper speeds up the experience. Too many times, the whole point of getting to the paper is that it's going to dry easier. So for those who have different waves in the perfume, it basically gives you the first phase, second phase, dry down within a decent time lapse. You know what I'm saying?
You know, one of the things that, and I do it from something I learned in my Spain class. I look at the pH of my perfumes. I've discovered that a lot of people are more acidic in their pH and on their skin, or their skin pH rather, because of coffee, stress, stuff we eat, or whatever. I actually shade my scents more toward more alkaline, high sevens, like 7.8, 7.9, even 8.0 sometimes, because it'll rise off your skin a lot better to counter your acidic nature of your skin. So it's definitely, so if I'm testing and developing based on targeting acidic skin and you're using paper, we're just missing each other in terms of what I'm trying to deliver in terms of an olfactory experience and what you're experiencing. So yeah, no paper, skin always.
Always. That's where I stand, man. So I'm with you on that one. Look, I definitely like that one. Here and Crown are two good ones. I'm definitely feeling Crown because I'm becoming more and more of a Fougere guy at times, but especially in my walk of life, it's more appropriate nowadays, especially for where I'm heading. So
there you go.
I like that Crown for sure. Yeah,
I feel you. And you know, it's funny you said that. Fougere and to me, Chypre are like cousins, so close. I can't remember the one ingredient that makes them different, but they're so close to me that I'm like, no, I want to go Chypre style. I'm not a big Fougere is almost like it's a cousin that I'm like, if I just go here, I might end up there. So that was kind of how my approach was to choosing.
And I apologize. Yeah, but I'm more in the style of both of them. Because I know a lot of Fougeres tend to be a little softer, but the Chypres have that citrus. They typically have
more
citrus
of a top bite.
Yeah. So Crown is a great Chypre. Let me say that. Yes. Yeah. All right. And I just sprayed another one. All right. I'm sorry. I can't wait. You know, we got 8 of them. And I went ahead and sprayed Tree. Now, Tree is one that I have seen on several people's Instagram posts. I believe World has put it up. My guy Habib has put it up.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say one other person, you know, shout out to Habib and World, man. I already shout out to World, but shout out to Habib. You know, Tree is definitely one that I wanted to get my nose on, especially tonight. But
Yeah, Tree has this version I'm smelling is definitely a little sweeter than my very first version. I'm gonna look back at some I wrote like notes that I want to make sure.
it's actually good, man.
It's
And
not.
look,
Yeah, my initial formula I did more lemon and cedrat. This is the vanilla is definitely. I think it's because it's aging. This is probably about a year old. It's definitely aging where the heart notes are coming out more than the top. Yeah.
let me see here. So, you know, I do better. I'm not even gonna make it seem like I can just tell this off top. I'm not a soothsayer, neither am I.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? I haven't been doing this a whole lot. But I can recognize certain florals and whatnot, right?
Mm-hmm.
But for this, all right, it does say that it opens with a green lift that feels cool moss, that feels like a cool moss underfoot. I get that, all right. It says mugwort, petitgrain, green
Mugwort.
leaves, cool moss, Tibetan cedar, sacred frankincense, Tonkin musk, Palo Santo. All right.
Yep. Yep.
Tell me about the opening, man, and tell me about mugwort and how the petitgrain fits in. Because petitgrain is something that I don't mind, but in sometimes it can be a little nerve wracking. It can be headache inducing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's funny you said that. I don't, and I'm noticing I hadn't looked at any kind of restrictions on it lately, but petitgrain is to me as if an unripe lemon and lime had a baby. It's almost like it wasn't ripe enough to me. So I've used it in micro doses because I remember when I was creating this, I said, man, I want more of the lemon top note, but I don't want it to smell like you're drinking lemonade. So I was trying to fake your mind or your nose out to get my lemon in your nose, but I don't want you to smell lemon. So that I think turned into I was on this quest of bumping up the florals more and more, and that's probably where they're coming out so strong now. One of the challenges of being a perfumer, so I can create something that in January smells amazing, but if it sits on a shelf till July, August before somebody starts wearing it, it's not the same scent that it was in January. So again, one of the challenges of me being a more natural based perfumer and wanting nonlinear perfumes is they'll change on their own in the bottle. So this opening or this scent, I initially built it around, and because of the name, I was thinking oud. And then I started looking at not necessarily the price is prohibitive to me because I think if an ingredient must be in a scent, I'm going to use it. I don't care what it costs, which is why I still use ambergris. It definitely
Yes.
started out one way and shifted later on. I was all about the oud and the cedar, and even choosing Tibetan cedar, which is also known as Himalayan cedar. It's the sweetest, softest of all the cedars. And I don't know if you knew this. Some cedars are actually not truly from a tree; they're from a juniper bush, like Virginia cedar. So the soft, milky wood, the vanilla, the citrus, the heliotrope accord, which is I didn't use any of the actual flower of heliotrope. I use a base that mimics it, so that's what's coming out. I think a little bit stronger than normal.
Okay.
So that's what. And so I'm. This is one of the one scents that I've said, wow, I think I'm gonna end up pulling all of my oud out to the last drop and then imitating it more with cedar and other combinations of woods like whole wood. HO wood is a very interesting wood to me. It has a coconut kind of scent to it. So yeah, you caught me in the midst of I'm rethinking my tree, so that's why I'm kind of hesitating on how much I'm really saying about it.
Hey, this one right here is good. You know, in the beginning, I definitely get the earthiness. All right, I get the outdoors feeling.
Mm-hmm.
I do get a green mossy feel, and
Yep.
not sea moss. This is if you've ever been into the woods or whatnot, And you know what side of the tree does the moss set in?
Oh yeah, the I can't remember it either,
When
but
I used
whatever
to
side.
be, yeah, when I used to be a Boy Scout, we used to know all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Eagle Scout too. But I remember going to the woods and being able to smell moss just because a lot of the trees just have a lot of it on there. And this is almost like a fresh, dewy moss. It's not
Uh-huh.
dry. It smells damp, not damp dog, not stinky damp, but you can smell it to where it's a fresh dampness, it's a mossiness, it's a greenness to it. You do get a little bit of, I know you say cedar wood. I'm thinking cedar wood because there is a sweetness to this, and cedar wood always has like a level of sweetness in it whenever it blends with stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just because typically you do sandalwood, it's creamy, but sometimes it comes off as maybe a dryness to it, and a lot of other woods too. Agar wood, it has a typical dryness to it. I think they go better with spices and stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
for this one, it's a
And when
sweetness, man, and it's crazy how it feels.
you know what too, that the mugwort also, I couldn't think of the name real quick, Artemisia. And when people look up the name of, that's the other common name for it, Artemisia, R-A-R-T, if I can spell it, Artemisia. It has a slightly citrusy, if a bergamot and Virginian cedar had a baby, that's what Artemisia or mugwort smells like. So you're picking up
Okay.
that slight sweet, slight citrus, all that is coming out of that one ingredient. That I bet if I send you that by itself, I bet you'll say you'd like that as a perfume by itself.
Probably. I
Yeah.
won't lie to you. This is good. And this is perfect timing, honestly, because I'm telling you, a lot of people know if you've been on here and you follow me, let alone everything. I'm just now starting to get into leathers,
Mm-hmm.
chypras, fougères, more or less, and also more woody based fragrances.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? At the beginning or towards the middle and end of last year, I was just getting into more citrus accords and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And now this is the turn. This is the, I guess, the turn of this part of my discovery.
Yeah.
And this is a good one. I mean, yeah, and see, I see in here, even though I know it's a description of the way it's supposed to feel, that cool moss is it's almost very specific. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? The Palo Santo in
Mm-hmm.
here,
Mm-hmm.
it also is giving me that almost, what was it? It was in Sin Santo and Sage by Chris Classic, by Savoir Faire.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I used to pour some of that into my diffuser, and I would do my stretches in the morning to it. And
Yeah.
it has a calming presence to the smell. And that's what I get in here in the background. That's really, I think, what is doing it for me right now.
Mhm. Palo
Because
Santo for
that's
sure. Oh man, you got a great nose. You're picking up all the vibes of that scent, and it's one of those things. So tree, the intent is to remind you to be grounded. So I intentionally wanted the tree essences of a couple of different trees to come out, but just like a redwood tree, man, we're supposed to grow and be above anything and everything around us in a certain way mentally.
yeah.
So my point is, don't be so pie in the sky spiritual that you're unfeeling and disconnected, but at the same time don't be so in the world that is bringing you down and causing you not to think as big as you should be thinking. So that's the purpose of tree.
Already. And real quick, let me ask this because I got my guy Aroma, Esteban in here.
Yeah.
Yeah. He said, as a perfumer, should we be concerned about what we are putting on our skin? He thinks about this and wonders if not wearing fragrances for a while is a good thing. And let me say this. I feel you on that. The reason why I haven't really been doing scent of the days on Instagram and whatnot continuously is because, man, I have been finding that every like 2 or 3 days, I will just go without wearing any fragrance. I'll just wear body oil or whatnot.
Yep.
Just go from there. And it does something to me either for a day or two. And it allows me to enjoy the fragrance the next time I wear it a lot more.
Yeah.
But I do see significance in this question. Do you mind answering that one?
Yeah, absolutely. So, kind of circling back to what I said when I was having a conversation with my son about music being the loudest it's ever been from a decibel level. Perfume, we have competed, we perfumers for the last 40 years have been competing on getting you hooked in that first few minutes, which means I'm amping up top. Now, I don't do it, but we have been amping up our top notes like crazy over the last 20, 30 years to hook you in that first few minutes, which means the suppliers, the supply houses coming up with the different chemicals are focusing on gasoline level hardcore note and ingredients to hook you, to
Right.
make you say, man, this one smells good, or wow, this lasts forever, whatever. Wearing that kind of perfume is grating on our noses, and it's causing us anosmia to where we're getting nose numb. We're self-inducing our own loss of smell because we're wearing a level of ingredients that's just, it's just too strong, to, in my opinion, just too strong. So if that's the kind of perfume you're wearing, absolutely we should be taking pauses and breaks and just soap. Let soap be your scent for a few days before you come back to blasting your nose again. But now, if you're wearing perfume that's not as strong in terms of those ingredients, you shouldn't need somebody working at a flower shop smelling flowers never says, man, I got to take a few weeks off. These flowers are killing me, unless they got an allergy, of course. But so natural ingredients just, or more natural, well-constructed scent that's not that projective won't just beat your nose up all day, and it shouldn't cause you to need a break. So it just depends on what you're wearing. It's like I say to people, what I'm really trying to do is, we love fast food hamburgers, and I'll eat McDonald's, of course,
Yeah.
sometimes. But when I go
Instant
to somebody's house to eat a homemade hamburger, there's no doubt that that burger is better. But do I always want to wait as long and go through the effort to get that well-made hamburger? No, I don't. We've done that with perfume. We are ready. We want fast food perfume. Oh, I know what it smells like. It's going to smell this way from top to bottom. That's what it smells like on them. So it's
Yep.
going to smell the same on me. So we're spoiled in a way.
Instant
And
gratification.
yeah, so now it's time for us to come back out of that quick, fast, Amazon model of perfume, and now spend time to discover perfume houses and the ingredients they use and why that perfume was created, not just to make money. It was created to do something for you. So it's time for us to not be lazy as perfume lovers, and now challenge the perfumers to give us better stuff. Like me, like, man, make me create better.
Yeah. I like that. I like that. And yeah, it does answer the question. But I will say this, definitely for me, I always say, give your body a break.
Yeah.
Give your body a break, because not only is nose numbness and nose blindness a real thing, but also I think, just like anything else that you put on your body becomes accustomed to it.
Yep.
And sometimes it's not so much that it's harmful, but anything in certain doses can be harmful.
Absolutely. You drink enough water, you could die. Yeah, yeah. So anything in the
Exactly.
wrong amount. Yeah. And
Exactly.
perfume molecules are small enough to cross the blood skin barriers. So you're absorbing them. You're absorbing your perfume through your skin, whether you know it or not. So that's also a reason to pay attention to houses that are trying to use certain ingredients or trying to avoid certain ingredients too, because you're getting it through your nose and directly into your skin through your blood.
Yeah. So there you have it, Esteban. Hopefully that answered your question, all. All right. Now I know people in the chat, such as World and Alicia, they want me to smell eye. I do not have eye. I'm gonna have to bring them back on. We're
All
gonna
right,
get
I
to
owe you
a
Eye
couple of
and
those.
Dragon, it sounds like then, right?
Eye and Dragon. Yeah, that's what it sounded like in the June. In the
And the
June.
June private stock.
Because I got the July, but not the
Uh,
June.
all
But
right.
yeah. But what I do have is water.
And water is one of my favorites too these days too. So I changed the formula on water. And did you spray it? So I was looking away. Did
Not
you
yet, not yet. I'm about to spray it now.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead and talk about it.
And so I changed the formula a little bit on water from the 2024 to 2025. I'll tell you something interesting about water. When I first had the thought of creating it, it's all about reminding you we could be as powerful as we want, but I think sometimes at least for me, I can get good at being a powerful, authoritative, or whatever, but I'll lose my ability to be flexible and adapt to things. So water is all about, don't give up your power, but learn to be flexible and adapt and move like water moves sometimes to accomplish something when it has to go around instead of through something. So I actually thought water should be a very clear scent visually, because I'm particular, as a great aunt used to say, about how the perfume looks. But after I did the combination of, I'm using a lot of oak moss in it and myrrh, those two ingredients in themselves being so dark, I said, man, I hate to call it dirty water, but it's definitely not clear. So I'm not crazy about that. The color came out so dark, and I'm calling it water, but I love the scent a lot. It's an aquatic scent for sure, with moss as the dry down, a little bit of musk. I think in Bretellide and a little bit of ambergris. Started out a lot of ambergris, but I've noticed depending on which ambergris I'm using. So I had two pieces. I had a lighter vanilla-ish smelling version, and I had this dark fecal version, and I had a lot of it. And I think I went a little bit too much on the darker fecal version of the ambergris, so it also turned a little bit darker. But you definitely get the aquatic ambroxan blast is coming through with that.
No, for sure. Now, I'm gonna tell you, you definitely get the citrus. And a lot of these tend to be almost in a cheaper form. Even though this is aquatic, this is a cheaper formed aquatic, because you're gonna get some citrus. You're gonna get something a little citrusy. Okay, let me say that. Now, you get the bergamot or bergamot, however you want to pronounce it. Yeah. You get a dirty rose. That rose Damascus. It's a dirty rose, y'all. It's almost like, how do I say?
I agree with
dirty
that.
Probably because of the ambergris, and the fecal. If that's that's the part of the ambergris that you got from the whales,
Yeah.
All right, but it is definitely a dirty natured rose with almost like, and I get the little wood behind it. The dirtiness doesn't really dirty up the rose; it dirties up the surrounding of the rose, which is more woody, I guess, for the cedar. But I know rose Damascus, all right, and I've had it in other fragrances that I typically love in there, and a lot of them typically are of a darker, dirty nature.
Yeah,
it's not like the other roses where I forget, some of the roses are typically go better with sweet, with greens, with softer. They're more bouquet-ish roses. The rose Damascus, they usually use when you've got grittier, oudish.
It's stand up. Yeah, it's not as delicate, and it can stand up to those kind of base notes.
Yeah, and I'm definitely getting a little undertone. It's not much tonka bean, but just for those who need a little sweetness in the midst of this, there is some. All right, but that fecal presence of the ambergris that you talked about, it's not strong. It's just enough to make the florals in here feel somewhat earthy, somewhat a little dirty.
I like that. I agree with that.
Yeah, you're not going to get anything stinky. Yeah.
My scents, I call them skin scents, because one of my mottos is your skin is my last ingredient. I think a dirtier rose feels more natural on your skin than a lighter, cleaner Victoria's Secret rose. It's something about it's like that's a great air freshener smell, but in terms of what my skin would smell like if somebody had taken roses and crushed them up and rubbed them on my skin real hard, that's what to me rose should smell like
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, this is a good rose. As a matter of fact, it reminds me of one of Kirk Elliott's original roses, which I still have samples of in there. When I get him on live,
Oh wow.
talk trash to him. I'm gonna beat him up for about 30 minutes before I actually start patting him on the back for what he's done. All right, but we'll come across that. But I'm gonna tell you this: yes, that rose is definitely built like that. But I don't get the patchouli, but I see where it is. You said it's aged patchouli in here, so
Yeah,
it's
just a little bit. I'll that's the one thing we get away with as perfumers. I could give you the exact same recipe, 15 lines or so, and just jack up one of my ingredients, and you'll think it's a whole different perfume. This
yeah,
patchouli, even though I probably have, I'd say probably 30 to 40% of what I put in a scent, I don't mention it because I'm microdosing a lot.
of course,
Yes. But then sometimes I'm like, oh, I'll go ahead and call it out. That patchouli in this one is that. I didn't even really need to mention it, but I'm like, I put it in there, so I'll go ahead and mention it.
yeah. But there's a dirty nature to it.
Yeah.
If I didn't know any better, I would think that it's something that's actually dirtying up the flower, if
Yep.
nothing more.
Yep.
But I mean, if you know, you know. That's
Yep.
all I'm gonna say. If you know, you know. But I will tell you this. You know what? I said it's a citrusy nature to it, and I'm looking on here, and I got bergamot,
Yep.
and I got mimosa. All right,
Yes.
and that is why it's a citrusy nature as opposed to just a straight citrus note,
Yep.
because there is a fizziness in here that is actually
Ah, that's
bringing
okay.
out that rose.
That's how
That
I
is,
describe mimosa also. Sorry, I mean to cut you
man,
off.
and it's bringing out that rose all the while. It's almost like a lemonade, like a
Uh-huh.
lemon mimosa, like a
Yep.
lemonade mimosa.
Yep. Like a Sprite and lemonade fizzy kind of sort. I love there's linalool acetate. I tell you this, I'm telling you a perfect top note accord. A natural linalool acetate, because you can get synthetic or natural. Dihydromercenol or mucinol or mercenol, I pronounce it mercenol. And linalool, a natural, those three things do about even parts. One of the most amazing 3-part top notes. It's just amazing to me. So there you go. Any perfumers, if you got those 3 ingredients, try that. An amazing top note combination.
Yeah, I like this, man. The oak moss taking it for the aquatic nature, but also blending with the ambergris to
Yeah.
take it to make sure that it's aquatic nature or
Yeah.
aquatic feel to it. This is good, man. This is good.
Did I send you La Flamin' Blue?
You know you did.
I thought I did.
You
Okay.
know you did. We're gonna do that last though, because
Okay.
that's the new one, right? That's the new one
Yeah.
that you recently.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we'll do that at the end. All right. As a matter of fact, I tell you what, we'll do 2 more.
Okay.
I'm gonna come back with that when we do the second one, because I definitely got to get you on here one more time, and I got to get Dee on here as well to talk about some things, because I actually am about to buy a couple of her bottles. But I tell you what, we will do La Flame and Blue, and then we will talk about Butterfly.
Okay. Yeah, that's
All right,
good. Yeah.
and I'm gonna hold off on July's private
Private.
stock. You
Okay.
you still got a 10 mil of that?
I do. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Those two,
Okay.
I probably have 50, 60 mils of both of those easily. Junior.
Hey, all right. Yeah, we'll talk after this, because
All right.
hey, the way they're good. I'll be honest with you, they're good. All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
So which one you got now? You said La Flame is the one you got now?
I tell you what, we're gonna end it with La Flame, but first let's do
Butterfly.
Butterfly.
All right.
So all right, y'all. So we're on Butterfly right now, man.
Hopefully that I had a batch of bad sprayers, so please don't hesitate to call me out if you got a sprayer that.
I got one that didn't do so well. I think it was Tree, but it got it.
Smart.
It
Yeah, I
got a new
noticed that too.
skin.
My supplier, I don't know, it got weird and they started cracking and failing some. So I'm gonna send you more of that one too. You said Tree.
Yes, yeah, but I mean, but it got it on skin, and
Yeah,
I trust me, I picked up everything I needed to.
I owe you more though.
Our
So
world said 411.
he said what? He said what?
411.
There it is. Yeah.
All right. But go ahead.
Butterfly, the current version, you'll probably notice it projects probably more than everything you've tried so far. Let me know when you got it. This one is of course, the intent is transformation. So, and just by the name, you expect it to be light and floral. So when I pictured the concept of it, a butterfly itself, light and floral and breezy and quiet. And so I thought, all right, it's going to be a citrusy, sweeter, something with red fruit. So I used a couple of like raspberry ketone. I used I'm using Creed's same pineapple base that they use in Adventus too, but I'm using such a lighter dose of it, it becomes more candy-ish in a way. So butterfly's got this collision of citrus, red fruit, and floral as a dominant. The heart is a little bit lighter. I'd say I'm probably more linear with butterfly than any of my scents because it kind of holds that intent all the way down. It varies a lot on the person though, so I'm curious to see what it smells like on your skin. And I'm a little bit smelling like I've been spraying all day, so I'm not sure if I'm truly still smelling it properly, but it's definitely a more effervescent. It's similar to sun in a way. They're cousins, I'd probably say, in terms of the structure of those two. It's a lighter daily. If I was going to say, somebody said, man, what's something I could wear every day just as a lighter scent? Butterfly would be my first choice, and sun probably the second choice.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Let me see real quick. All right. Yeah, man. This is actually good. Very aromatic. I mean, it's strong in the air. Seriously,
Yeah,
but on skin, it's even. Boy, it's kicking off skin.
Yeah, I did. I said it. It's a little bit. It casts probably a little bit more than I really wanted to be honest. I love closer hugging scents like that, as I call them. Like I want you to be arm's length before you really get exposed to the full blown scent. So it's a little bit. Just a little bit more than I was trying for, but I like it.
It's very citrusy.
Yeah.
Definitely citrusy. You do get that pineapple from Aventus. However, I know you said it's candied compared to, because I actually wore Preshell, right?
Mm-hmm.
From Afnan, I believe it's Afnan or whatnot, or is it Armaf? One of them, anyway. Club de Nuit, Armaf, or whatever. Club de Nuit Preshell one, right? And it has that, but it's a spicy pineapple, right?
Mm.
Very similar. I'm not going to give a percentage or whatnot, but I think that is more candied. I think the Aventus, the original batch, is more candied than the more recent batches because of the smokiness. They took off some of the sweetness on the pineapple.
Mm-hmm.
So that is what I get on here. But because you threw in those red berries you were talking about, it kind of sends it a little left. All right.
It does get, it's something, now I won't say weird, but it's something twisted about it that you're like, I can't put my finger on this, but it's pleasing to me, but it's definitely not straightforward. The non-linear stuff kicks in.
Exactly. And the thing about it is, you say red berries, but I wonder, you said red berries, but did you mean raspberries or?
I said raspberry ketone is
raspberry ketone. Okay. And there you go.
I described the note as just red berries, like red fruit, raspberry or whatever. Yeah. Strawberry.
So that ketone, that raspberry ketone leans in on the tartness as opposed to the sweetness. And so that becomes even more aromatic. So you've got more tart and a little sweet. All right.
Yep. I agree. Well said.
Aromatic. You still, oh my God. And I can't, there's a brand called Mibisu and whatnot, and they got a fragrance called Wondrous Flight, right? And but this right here is almost like a wondrous flight of a butterfly. It smells good. All right.
Thank you.
The way it's so aromatic coming off of the skin, I know this will create a great sillage if you spray on enough. I say that because I've only put two on arm, right? But even before I started waving it, I could smell it on my skin.
You know, my most favorite thing to do is to whatever I had on the night before, when I smell it, that first moment I wake up in the morning, like that dry down is amazing. So this butterfly is my favorite next morning to
Yeah.
smell scent of all my scents right now. There's something about, and I've got to go back and look at my recipe and see what could be going on. But yeah, there's something about the dry down. Once it gets into my skin that next morning, I'll wake up and go, oh, I love this.
I'm gonna tell you some. Daryl. You know what this reminds me of, and I'm not joking.
What's that?
But when I smell this, I swear I've been trying to figure out what am I thinking of. It reminded me of a cartoon, a childhood cartoon. And I know some of you are gonna recognize it, man. A childhood cartoon, all right. And I went to a daycare. Yes, I went to a daycare center. All right, and it wasn't in the hood. All right, it wasn't in the hood. I may have stayed in predominantly black area, but I went to a daycare with, it was in the mountains of Caucasus. All right, it was predominantly white. All right, and every week they asked to watch one of two movies.
Mm-hmm.
The first one, it does not remind me of Land Before Time.
Yep. Yeah.
The second one we watched every effing fucking week. Fern Gully.
I've seen that one.
Oh my God. It reminds me of Fern Gully. First thing I thought about was that bat and that girl that was in there. Like, it was crazy and I couldn't remember it, man.
How do you connect the scent to that though? Like, what's that part?
I don't know, man. I thought like the character just popped in my head, and then the next thing I thought about was Tinkerbell. Like, this is what I think they would smell like. I guess I don't know.
There you go. Do you know what that is though? Too, it probably could have been the teacher was wearing something during that time, and I've got an ingredient that you're picking up that used to be one of your teachers had that scent. You just don't remember that was the connection between that person.
Yeah, it may be. You know what I'm saying? I just wish that they may have smelled like this, but I wish they looked like them teachers that we keep seeing pop up nowadays. I tell you that much. Hey, the way these teachers looking, I'm thinking about going back into the sector. You know what I'm saying? Into the public sector. You know what I'm saying? Middle school, here I come.
That's it.
But no, man, for some reason it just popped in my head. But this is the first thing I thought. Maybe it's because I keep smelling oak moss, and there's a natural vibe, like a natural outdoor vibe to this in the background. Mm-hmm. Nothing smells like it's just created. Everything smells like something that you would pick up outside. Yeah. There's almost like an outside presence in so many of these.
Yeah, and I'd say this too, as soon as we finish, walk outside and smell again, and you're going to discover you're going to pick up something new. Yeah, it happens every time for me.
But this is really good, man. This is really good. It's creative. I wish we had more time so that I could, get the full dry down and whatnot. But I'm gonna have to come back, man. I have to do I have to get a few 10 meals or something, and do a little review or whatnot on there. But these are good.
Thank you.
I see why World and Habib and those they were asking me for the longest. Have you tried Dragon? Have you tried Dragon? And shout out to my girl Carrie B. You know what I'm talking about? Bad Girl Frag on Instagram. Yes. She told me about you a while back too.
Oh, that's
awesome. Yes. You know what I'm saying?
Dragon Tree, and then June Private Stock. We'll talk about those next time.
Most definitely, man. Because these are good, man. I have to admit, I'm enjoying them. Oh man, I'm enjoying the bulk of these, and they're all Chypre styled, y'all. All right, they're all Chypre styled. A couple of them, this actually could almost be fougere minus the citrus.
I never thought about it like that.
There's almost like a soapy nature to this.
Yeah.
Right now,
I can see that.
And even water has a little cleanness, a little soapy. Because whenever I think of fougeres, I think of barbershop. I almost think of there's usually in the ones I've smelled, there's always a presence of that. What's the name of that shaving cream? Like the shaving cream feeling in there, whether it's in the density of it or whether it's like a brief little bit of a note in there. I always get that. And there's a little hint of that nature in this one and in water. And it's probably just because of a combination of the chemicals and whatnot, or it could be just the way it's making me feel from a past scent memory. But it really has me in a mode of thinking this is a combination. This could be either Chypre or Fougere. You know what I mean? So
I get that. Yeah, I get that.
This is good, man. Shout out to what's up, Jewel, Percy, and everybody else who came in a little bit late. If I didn't acknowledge you, I apologize, man. You know, it's sorry. Enjoying these fragrances over here with my guy Daryl, man. For those who came in late, we are talking about the House of Dragon Perfume, and so far, if you do go back, we have already talked about Crown, Here, Tree, and Water. All right. And the one that I just got through talking about is Butterfly. All right. And yeah, man, like I said, they are Chypre styled, not Chypres, but Chypre styled formulation of fragrances. All right. And man, he's been on here breaking down chemically and feeling wise how these fragrances are put together. And man, hey, been enjoying.
I love that you noticed the Chypre pattern, and after I thought about it, I did realize, man, I am using kind of that 1, 2, 3 musk, jasmine, oak moss, labdanum, bergamot in a lot of my scents. So yeah, there's a Chypre skeleton hiding in a lot of my fragrances. I'd never thought about it until you just said it.
I'm sorry, man. I'm on here reading the chat. Look, I got my usual hater that pops in. She must be real refreshed because she had a nap earlier. All right. Talk about somebody get this man some H2O. talk about them teachers. Got my guy Roma in here talking about, man, Land of the Lost. Yeah. You took it a few years before Land of before time, brother.
I remember the original Land of the Lost, so he got me with that one.
You know what I'm saying?
Fleece stack.
Oh man, yeah. So we in here just tripping out. I'm over here reading some of these. You know what I'm saying? But Roma said he loves getting educated on fragrances. Definitely is a vibe. But yeah, all world confirmed. Hey, he said that Chypre vibe is Dragon's DNA. It is, man. Yeah. So far, so good. It feels like it. You know what I'm saying? And that's a good thing, especially for me. Honestly, I didn't like Chypres for the longest. I just didn't feel them. But there have been certain brands that have made certain 1 or 2 Chypres in their brand that have gradually got me a little more comfortable. But man, I'm telling you, if I had smelt this, if I had only smelled 1 or 2 Chypres prior to this, and then you came and I discovered this is definitely a house that would make you more comfortable with that style, or make you more comfortable with even a Fougere, because like you said, they're cousins. They give off a very similar feeling, but there are certain strong characteristics. I'm sorry, characteristics within them that differ them, like the shaving cream feel or smell, as opposed to the citrus and aromatic, earthy nature.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely good, man. And
thank you.
They're not introductory as in low. They're introductory as in easy feeling, easy to enjoy. You know what I'm saying? Nothing standing out too much where it's going to be hard to take in. All right. But it's a very easygoing. I would probably say your nose and your body would understand this fragrance on its skin quite well.
I agree with that, man. That's so, again, interesting you said that. When people say a scent is easy to wear, you're describing it just being that there's something about it could be a different scent for you, but at the same time, there's something familiar about the ingredients. It's an interesting combination. It's new and familiar at the same time.
Right. And don't get it twisted. I still be calling people stuff easy wears when it's
I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
There it is.
Don't get it twisted. It still depends on what I'm talking about, because some people's stuff still is easy wear, like easy reach. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't if you're going somewhere, hey, you want to smell good, just toss on a couple of sprays. But no, These actually have a meaning. They actually put you in a mindset and a feeling. They're not just simple feel good and go. These actually give you a mindset. They evoke feelings on you. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
Yep. Makes you think about what you're wearing too, because
Yeah, and
your
that's
nose makes you go, wait a minute, that's not normal. What am I wearing? This is interesting. So it makes you do that. Yeah.
and these are not beast mode. They are not going to scream at you.
Mm-mm.
These are ones that you want to wear. I mean, I'll be honest with you. All these, I won't say close encounter, but I will say within reach.
Yep.
These are fragrances that you wear within reach of someone, and you make
Yep.
a statement. You know
Yep.
what I'm
I
saying?
agree.
People. They shit on this brand, Daryl. This right here, Killian. They shit on
Yeah.
Killian because they're like, oh, it's so weak. It don't let. Killian is a date night fragrance to the T. All right, whether you go with the liqueur series or whether you go with the well, I forget which ones these are, but the ones that I prefer. All
Mm-hmm.
right.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about them is they're not meant to reach down the table or necessarily even across. They are meant to be enjoyed at close range. You
Yep.
know,
Yep.
not to mention these are date night fragrances. I don't know anybody who goes on a date for 8 hours.
Right. The good point. You know what? I have a thought about top notes too. If a perfume is structured properly, your top note, if it's non-linear, should only last 15 to 30 minutes or so. Think about who really smells the top note of your perfume. Either somebody you live with or you. But most people in the world
Yep.
never smell the top note of your perfume.
Never do. Because you usually spray that cologne on before you make that 30-minute drive to work. And a lot of times, especially if it's a citrus top note,
Yep.
that citrus note is gone before you walk in the doors.
Yep. Yep. And then it's funny because that's the part that we're judging the scent on, and that when we go smell it, oh, I love it, that first 30 minutes, but that's the least smelled note that anybody else will experience. It's a weird thing about us, the way we think about perfume.
Indeed. Indeed. All right, man. Let's go ahead and get this last one. All right.
Uh,
Y'all, this is the new one. All right.
Flame and blue.
La Flame and Blue. All right. And blue with an EU for those who
Yeah,
are
so
unsure on
this
how to
one
spell it.
is for St. Lucia Miss Universe, and they have a heavy French
Nice.
heritage, or I guess they're the founding of the country and the island, having the British and French influence. So the pageant director, who I created this in conjunction with, she said she loved wearing blue, and you see blue a lot there when you go to the country, and the pageant colors are blue. I had always thought about doing a scent that would be something fire related. With the name like Dragon, you would expect sooner or later I'm going to have a scent that's fire related to
Ooh,
fire. So she
nice.
said, Daryl, I wanted to have fire in the name, but of course I want to use French spelling because of our heritage. The interesting thing, though, I said, man, I always thought my fire scent would be spicier, but then I realized Dragon is really my spicy. So to me, what this smells like, this jasmine musk, is what the color blue would smell like if it had a smell. So that's that's where I'm getting my connection with the scent and choosing the ingredients. I said, man, to me, a blue flame would smell like jasmine if it had a natural scent, with musk on it. So this is a pretty
I like
complex.
this though.
I'm using a couple of different jasmines. I'm using a base that's a heavy indole leaning base, so it's very fecal. But that, along with the two jasmines I'm using, Grandiflora and Sambac, I think it works. And then pink carnation. So the spiciness that's coming out a little bit with the Flame and Blue is coming from, I'm using a pink carnation absolute, which is to me like if rose and cinnamon had a baby. A little bit of a spice to that floral, that deep red floral kind of scent. Using four or five different musks in this one. Of course, always as usual ambergris, but I've got a couple of skin nitro musk, as I like to call them, that to me just wrap this jasmine really well without being a musk that somebody might say I don't like musk. Has a little bit of an aquatic opening, little bit of citrus in there. I hid ever so slightly, but the
Little.
musk and jasmine are the main two. So now let me get your thought. You're one of the first people I hear talk about it.
Brother, I'm gonna tell you right now, I ain't getting no little bit.
Get a lot of bit, huh?
I get a lot of citrus. As a matter of fact, you want to know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of the fragrance I'm wearing right now. The pressure. It reminds me of Creed Aventus Absolute. I
Yeah,
am getting the citrus. I'm getting the pineapple, but I'm getting a louder pineapple.
yeah,
It's leaning into the sweetness a little bit more than the other was. All right, than
yeah,
butterfly was, and more so than the other one before that. I'm getting a spiciness in the back of here, in the mix of it.
yeah.
Um,
And I understand why you're getting more citrus. When I sent you that, I had just topped off. So part of my technique, sometimes I'll delay adding my top notes.
uh-huh.
A lot of perfumers back in the day would do that. We'd actually put in the bottle a little bit of some note that we know, like for top notes, they'll fade into the blend real fast. So I wanted the citrus to stand out for you. So I think I topped yours off a little bit, that when I put yours in the atomizer, a little bit more citrus. But so
No,
yeah,
but
so when
this
I
is
say a
good
little bit,
though.
I think my version is a little bit less than yours, but you'll in
I was.
about a few
Let me
weeks.
say this though. Let
Uh-huh.
me say this. That jasmine, I get the florals. Now it says jasmine and pink carnation, and you were talking about some other
Yeah.
ones in there as well. I get the florals in the background, but you want to know what's really bringing that citrus forward? I believe
What's that?
earthiness. I'm seeing neroli on here. If
Yep.
it's really in there, then that neroli
Yep.
is really accenting the citrus more so than anything, and that's what's allowing now I believe, and this is just my interpretation of what I'm smelling. It's slowly allowing the florals to blend in because of that earthy nature, and I'm picking up some petals and whatnot. I can't
Mm-hmm.
really distinguish jasmine and pink carnation, but I'm getting the florals. I'm
Mm-hmm.
getting petals. I'm smelling
Yeah.
petals along with a citrusy, earthy vibe, which I'm
Mm-hmm.
thinking is that neroli.
It is. That's so funny you picked that up. I'm using the Rolly. I think three of my scents I use it. This one has the most in it. So that's awesome. You're picking it up. I'm also. I don't think I use a shift space in this one. So my orange blossom is coming from the combination of the Neroli plus the pink. Pink carnation by itself has not a weird scent, but it's not very. It's like it's two things to me of something else and not a scent by itself is a weird way of saying it. Again, like if rose and clove, a little bit of clove had a baby, that's what pink carnation is, with a little bit of jasmine. So it's almost like pink carnation smells like an accord of other flowers to me. So I get that you may not be picking it up as well.
Well, I say I'm not picking it up individually. But
Yeah.
here's the other thing. A lot of times when I see people with carnations is with other flowers anyway.
Yeah, true.
Really see people
Point.
buying carnations
Yeah,
alone often. You know what I'm saying? I see
correct.
people pick carnations
Yeah.
because they're in a carnation field or area, but I don't see people go to the store or go outside and just buy carnations by
By
themselves. You know what I'm
themselves.
saying?
Good point. Yeah.
So when I'm smelling this, I don't get specifically carnations. I get florals. I get white florals. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Even though it says pink carnation, typically I know the acidic nature of certain colors of plants and whatnot.
Mhm.
Pink, blue, they are not as acidic as reds, yellows, and whatnot. So
That's a good point.
typically,
Oh wow. Yeah.
huh?
I was saying that's a good point. That's interesting. Yeah.
You don't have to. I remember having to plant them, and you don't have to put as much acid in the soil
Yeah.
to get them to continue living like you would other color plants and
Yeah.
other plants. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I'm thinking I'm just getting the florals and whatnot
Mhm.
as opposed to pink or a specific color. And it's partially because that neroli, I mean, it's already citrusy, it's already acidic in and of itself. All right.
Mhm. And a little
So
fruity.
it's going to kick butt with everything else around it. Everything else is just gonna have to get in where it fits in right now.
Yeah. And I'm using such a small dose of that pink carnation absolute. I think I only had about that much of it anyway. So it's like a drop in a 50 ml bottle is about as much as I'm using.
Oh, well, listen, there you go. All
Yeah.
right. But the jasmine, for what it is, the jasmine, lily of the valley, and whatever other florals, I'm getting something that gives floral petals.
Yep.
It's nothing incomplete. It's nothing like a full stem of anything. I'm
Hmm.
just getting floral petals amongst the citrus and amongst the
Yeah.
pineapple.
Sorry, my
I must have said something wrong, huh?
no,
That
she my wife just walked in, so she just got out and going crazy. So
got you.
hopefully she won't do that again.
But this is good, man. Hey, look, this is almost like a tropical dragon. I mean, if a dragon were to devour too much fruit punch or too
Too
much
much
pina
rum punch.
coladas,
That it's a drunk dragon, Caribbean dragon. Yeah, yeah, I agree with that. I like
this is
that.
good though, man. I like it, but I like, it's funny because you said the blue flame, and it's almost as if the flame is the pineapple because it comes out so strong, so
Ooh,
hot.
interesting.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the blue is probably just, I will leave it at the French term and whatnot, but
Hmm.
I mean that flame has to be the tropic nature of this with the pineapple, the spicy, and it's the spicy nature to it. It's
Yeah.
not a simple pineapple, it's a spice in there. Something is providing a spiciness to it, and
Hmm.
it's accenting the pineapple note
Hmm.
in
Hmm.
a sense, flaming the pineapple, and it's good. This
Oh, I
is
like
good.
that. So I think though the only thing I put in it that's spicy is that pink. You're gonna make me look at the recipe. Oh crap, I got it right here actually. Pink carnation. Let you in on the perfumer's world. That's actually the recipe. That's two.
Ah,
So that's my
Merv,
whole recipe for that formula.
Jesus. Hey,
uh,
I see myrrh in here.
yeah, absolutely. I put myrrh in almost everything. It's something
Myrrh and
about.
what I say, myrrh and frankincense seem to be what's happening right now. I won't lie to you. I was telling you about that armoire that's coming out soon that I
Yeah.
plan on getting in the next week or so. It's called Timber. And the
Mm.
funny thing is that it has a strong presence of frankincense in the beginning with the wood note, right? And so in that wood note, you get the pepperiness, but it almost feels like black pepper, but it's not because
Mm.
it blends in so well with the wood. And black pepper would be drowned by the wood, or you'd have to overdo it. And the black pepper typically has a dry nature to it whenever you put it in stuff. But
All right,
that
all right.
it's
I lied to you. I just found it. So I just searched
what
it.
is it?
Pink peppercorn. I put like a half a gram of pink peppercorn. I forgot. So yeah, that's it.
Well,
Man, you got a good nose. You have a
man,
good nose.
I'm telling you, it's doing so. I'm telling you, man, and I love that because pink peppercorn also accents citrus notes too. It tends to bring
Hmm.
out it brightens them up. You know what I'm saying? Gives them a little shine sometimes too.
Yes, sir.
I like that. I like
Yeah,
this.
yeah. Good
But you
nose.
got, man, this is crazy because I'm looking at the notes that you got on here. I know it's not all in there, and I know some of these may only be a drop in the bucket. You know what I'm saying? But earlier we were talking about the notes, that that
Hmm.
violet rose combination.
Hmm. Hmm. That methyl. So I did an accord before I put it in technique matters.
It does
It's kind of like
indeed.
baking a cake. You notice when you're doing the solids or the dry and the liquid, and you have to do it in a certain order, right?
Hmm.
So I did an accord of a little bit of a rose I had left. It's a trilogy that I got from Eden Botanicals, which is three types of rose.
Okay.
And then I had my methyl ion gamma, which is that violet molecule. Played with that in different ratios until I got it to a point where I was like, man, it's just that ever so slight sweet violet in a rose. That is what I ended up putting into this scent. So that's why I left them as one line item called Violet Rose, because
Yeah.
I created that accord over off to the side of my desk before I brought it back in. Something about adding those two together before you put them in the bottle versus separately in the bottle is making a difference. And it might just be psychological, and I think it's just making a difference, but something about adding them together the way I created it, it makes it different to me.
Yeah,
Camouflages each one separately and makes them a new molecule in a way.
it could very well be. To be honest with you, when it comes to chemistry and whatnot, I mean, we're still discovering how things come together. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? We're starting, and we always have to accept, as a chemist or anybody dealing with science, that the best explanation is that there may not be an explanation.
Yep. Good
A
point.
lot of times we deduce stuff that we also later on prove wrong. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Change our mind
Or
about
we
it.
prove that it's yeah, or we prove it inconsistent. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yep.
So this is interesting, but this is good, man.
Thank you.
Look, I won't lie to you. If I had smelt this earlier on in the year, because I don't know when summer begins or ends in Texas, right? But man, I would have had to have gotten this.
Ah, nice. All right, I gotta send you I'll send you a 15 mil of this one in.
This is good, Daryl. This is good, man. I like this.
Thank
This
you.
is good. This right here would alleviate me needing that Pressure One. You know
All
what I'm
right,
saying?
I need to go get this to
Sell
you.
that thing.
Let me get this in the mail quick, fast, and in a hurry.
I would get rid of my rendition from Armoff. I would get rid of it quick, man. I'm telling you, this is good.
I can't let all world get mad. I got to get him to sample. He'd be like, man, how that dude smell it? I ain't smelled it yet.
Yeah, how you gonna help him? And I put him on. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna get it to him. I know if
Yeah,
he's listening, it's coming.
yeah, for sure, man. But this is great, man. I won't lie
Thank
to
you.
you. This
Thank
is really good. And several of these are must-haves. Me personally, because I got so many, I'm still finding ways to sell or give away or get rid of some of the ones I got. Right now, like I told Dee, as much as I'd like to buy her little 50 meals and whatnot, 10 to 15 is all I need right now.
you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Until further notice, you know what I'm saying? For real, because it's man, being a frag head is an expensive lifestyle.
Yeah, I'm starting to notice other perfumers. We're all talking about that 9 to 15 mil travel sizes and small bottles feeling like more of the sweet spot these days.
I'm telling you.
So yeah, I'm discovering I'm buying more of those bottles and selling in that amount too. So I'll definitely focus on that to offer that.
Yeah, I mean, especially and now with the economy the way it is, you got those that have the ability to, you know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, a lot of those people they don't necessarily look to the smaller brands, the up and comings and whatnot.
Yeah.
So the best thing that we can advise is that your time will come. I truly believe your time will come. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some of these people they may have had the sponsorships in the beginning, or they had somebody that was willing to front the bill and whatnot. But not everybody does that, and there are a lot of brands that are out there now that had to build up from humble beginnings. You know what I'm saying? And I see that for you, but for now you build. I tell a lot of people this in the background, but I tell them build a relationship with those who are willing to buy first.
Yes, sir.
Before you start. But you know what I'm saying? Cater to those who are willing to buy, not to those who you want to buy, because you'll look up and find out that those people you want to buy will never buy from you.
Right. Like we got to love on who's loving on you. Right. So
yeah, you know what I'm saying? So man, I'm telling you, you keep perfuming like this, and hey, you'll get there. Trust
I'm gonna
me.
keep getting better, man.
This is good, man.
I promise you, I'm gonna keep getting better. I owe that to everybody out there.
For sure. But yeah, Daryl, man, look. For those who are still with us, man, again, we have been sampling from the house of Dragon Perfumes. I got my guy Daryl on here. He is the CEO, perfumer, and the creator of this brand and this movement and all of these perfumes. Trust me. I would encourage you to go get your nose on them. For those who are sketchy, you know me. All right, I was an avid blind buyer, but now because of the bottles that I have, and because it needs to make sense nowadays. In today's world, it just needs to make sense.
Yeah.
He has $20 discovery kits available. And he said he always throws in a little extra. Go check him out.
Mm-hmm.
I am positive that there's at least one or two that you would like from the house. All right. I'm a picky person. All right. But I'm pretty sure, especially if you like or have an affinity for Chypres or Fougères, go check him out.
Thank you,
Go
sir.
check him out.
Thank
Seriously. This is good, man. And for those who are watching, I think I'll be able to put it in the description. I'll try and do it tonight. All right. If not, I'll do it tomorrow for sure. But yeah, I'll go ahead and put in the description which ones we smelt. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And the notes that you have online for them. But hey, man,
Yes, sir. Thank you.
can't say it enough. Check it out. Check them out, man. This is good. But we will be back with Daryl because there are a few from the house that I was not able to smell today. And we have some other ones coming in. Compliments of the recommendations and suggestions of Alicia, Habib, and of course, All World, who's been hounding me about this. So
All right. Thank
we
you.
appreciate y'all for coming in. And Daryl, I'm going to put you in the back. All right.
Okay,
Just
sir.
bear
Thank
with
you.
me.
Thank you
I'll
all. I
be, yeah.
appreciate y'all hanging out with us for a while and letting me talk as much as I did.
Well, but before I let you go, before I put you in the back, all right, is there anything you want to tell the people? Anything?
I'll say this: continue to try Dragon, even if you try samples and might not be crazy about something. Because, like I said, I'm intentionally changing my formulas every year because I want to always create and give you better and better perfumes. So just keep trying it. Just keep trying it. And if you have a question or a thought about something you want to create, shoot me an email, DRH, Daryl Roy Hunter. Don't tell anybody my middle name because I don't like it. DRH at Dragon Perfumes. Shoot me a note and we'll talk about it. Thank you
There
all.
you go. And I will have all that information in there. All right, in the description. I'm gonna make sure I have it tonight. All right.
All right.
But appreciate you, Daryl. I'm gonna go ahead and put you in the back.
Appreciate you too, my
All right.
friend. Thank you, sir.
Hold on tight, man.
Okay, I will.
All right, y'all. And there we have it, man. Another successful sampling Sunday. Another great house to venture out and get your nose on, man. This was a great night, a great night of sampling, man. For real. Definitely made the day go by in a plus in the end, you know. I hate to say it like that, but yeah. But man, with all that being said, let me go ahead and say this, man. Look, going forward, been talking to my guys, Kroom, been talking to Jason, and we initially started this channel to kind of sit down and chat with everybody. I won't say that we lost track of which direction we were heading, but we did leave it. We will still be reviewing colognes and whatnot and talking about perfumes here and there, but we are planning on going back to where we started, which was having conversations about what's going on and being able to relate it to skincare, beauty care, cologne wear. All right. But just want to give a heads up. We'll definitely be doing a video on that, talking to you briefly about that. But man, appreciate y'all for coming out. Definitely appreciate y'all for giving us your time and your attention. It's been a great live for the past 2 hours and 15 minutes. All right. We know you could be anywhere but here, but you chose to spend your time with us. And for that, we are truly grateful. All right. With that being said, couldn't get either of my co-hosts up here today. I know they're busy. Jason had a birthday the other day, so if y'all get a chance, go ahead and wish the Sin Father a happy birthday and show E. Kroom some love. It's football season, so he's trying to find some time. At the same time, I think he's closing in on his house and whatnot. So show him some love. Let him know that y'all miss him here, and we'll go from there. But hey, as we always end it, let every sip lead to a no, my bad. Let me do it right. I was about to mess it up again. All right. Let every sip be a lead to a new discovery, and let every sniff. Oh hell, I don't know, man. Just let every sniff lead to a new discovery, and let every sip be a sip of inspiration. All right, there we go. Y'all have a great night. Love y'all. Take care. Alrighty. Man, I can't believe we're still. It's a darn shame, man. We'll get it. Y'all have a great night. We'll see y'all later.